Corrie weekly updates from 1995. All the wit and warmth of WeatherfieldNone of the waffle, available from Amazon.co.uk or Amazon.com. Starting with the big story of the week. Pat Phelan shot and killed Andy Carver after forcing Andy to shoot Vinnie Ashford in a deserted paper mill. He then bundled up the two dead bodies and threw them in the river. It was dramatic, that was for sure. Whether it was the Coronation Street we all know and love is another matter altogether. If only there had been some humor, some light to play against the dark and the death. If only. Light and shade, humor and drama is what Corrie all about, but this week it lost its funny bone. Seb fell from a ladder and ended up in hospital with a bleed on the brain. Phelan then goes and puts one of Anna's earrings inside Barlow and Grimshaw solicitor's office beside the window from which Seb fell, intent on framing Anna for Seb's accident. Phelan's not best pleased with Anna after she told Nicola about her dad's real past. Wanting to know more, Nicola went to visit her mum's old friend Lydia, who revealed the horrid truth that Phelan had raped Nicola's mum. Armed with this news, Nicola confronted her dad and told him he was dead to her. Mary's turned into the mother-in-law from hell as her jealousy over her son's wife and child gets the better of her. Mary's always had a nasty streak. It's just lain dormant for a while, but it has now reappeared in a very nasty way. On a lighter note, thankfully this week, Steve and Comedy Dev have a bit of a moment in the corner shop where Steve was trying to get his step count up on his Fitbit by power walking up and down the biscuit aisle. Speaking of which, Steve wants a Fitbit for himself and moans to Dev that he hasn't had a date in ages. Dev and Gina set Steve up on a blind date, but it's Moira, or Mora as Steve calls her, who turns up. Suffice to say, this isn't a date that's likely to be repeated anytime soon. But after the date, Tracy and Steve shared a bit of a moment. Could it be a hint at them getting back together? Also this week, Aiden leans in for a kiss from Aaliyah as the two of them grow close, working together on a special project while Underworld stays shut. Speaking of which, a check arrives for Fizz and Tyrone for £2,000 from a woman who's been moved, reading Hope's cancer story on the crowdfunding page. Fizz and Tyrone are torn, but not for long, over what to do with the check. Do they keep it or share it with their work colleagues, as that was the whole reason for setting up the crowdfunding page in the first page? Well, they're keeping it for now. And finally this week, Craig gets a new mentor at work, but young PC Tinker looks set to be developing some form of obsessive behavior after the trauma of what he went through with his last mentor, Evil Neil. And that's just about that for this week. Remember, you can sign up to get these Corrie weekly updates by email at http://www.corrie.net. Updates weekly. Subscribe.htm. This week's writers were Susan New. Monday double Joe Turner, Wednesday double Owen Lloyd Fox, Friday double. Find out all about the Coronation Street writing team at http://coronationstreetupdates.blogspot.com. 200811 exclusive Alcurrent Corrie writers.html. Glenda Young blogging away merrily at http://flamingnora.blogspot.com. Website glendayoungbooks.com. Read more Corrie news, interviews, gossip and spoilers. Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook. Please read our advice for leaving comments on the Coronation Street blog. All original work on Coronation Street blog is covered by a Creative Commons license.